So, what if you had a compass for your life? I mean, a real tool that helps you navigate every single decision with clarity and, with purpose. Well, that's exactly what we're going to build today. And don't worry, this isn't about dusty old philosophy books. It's about crafting your very own personal philosophy that actually works for you.
You know that feeling like you're just sort of adrift, reacting to whatever life throws at you instead of actually steering your own ship? One moment you're going one way, the next you're pulled in another, kind of pushed around by circumstances or what other people expect from you?
Yeah, that feeling. It's like trying to find your way through a really thick fog without a compass. When we don't have that clear internal direction, we often end up running on what you could call borrowed philosophies. These little bits and pieces we've picked up from family, from society, maybe from social media. And that can lead to making choices that deep down just don't feel right.
But what if you could build your own internal compass? Well, that's precisely what a personal philosophy is. The best way to think about it is as your mind's operating system, one that's designed by you, for you. So at its core, a personal philosophy is basically a framework. It's your own unique set of beliefs and principles that acts as a filter, helping you process all of life's complicated choices and figure out what truly, truly matters to you.
And the benefits of doing this? They are huge. Seriously, when you have this compass, making decisions just becomes so much clearer. You start to develop a real sense of purpose, and that, in turn, builds incredible resilience. It gives you a stronger sense of control over your own life, which is really the foundation for handling challenges. It lets you live more authentically, and it even makes your relationships better because you actually know what you stand for.
This quote from Emerson just gets to the absolute heart of it. He's reminding us that our inner world, our values, our principles, that's the most powerful tool we've got. It's the thing that guides us through everything else.
So how do we actually build this compass? Well, it all starts with the foundation, your core values. These are your non-negotiables. They're the principles that define who you are at your absolute core.
But here's the thing. Real values aren't just pretty words we like. They're what actually guide our choices when the pressure's on. And uncovering them, well, that takes some honest self-reflection. So we're going to use a simple but really powerful tool called the four-question method.
Okay, first up, the memory question. I want you to think back to a time when you felt genuinely, deeply proud and fulfilled. What was going on? What values were you living out in that moment? Was it something about creativity or connection, maybe courage? Don't just think about what you achieved, but the feeling behind it.
All right, next is the anger question. And this one is surprisingly revealing. What is it that consistently makes you angry or frustrated? That really strong reaction is often a giant flashing sign that one of your core values is being stepped on. If injustice makes your blood boil, well then justice is probably a core value for you.
Next, let's think about your choices. Our values are really revealed in the sacrifices we're willing to make. Would you, say, trade a higher salary for more time with your family? Or maybe give up some security for a chance to chase a creative passion? These trade-offs point directly to what you truly prioritize.
And finally, the legacy question. When all is said and done, what do you want people to remember you for? Your kindness, your curiosity, your integrity? Thinking about your legacy really helps clarify the long-term principles you want to define your life.
Now, the key is to look for the themes that keep popping up across your answers. You're not trying to create a massive list here. The real goal is to boil it all down to just 3 to 5 primary values. These are going to be the pillars of your personal philosophy.
Okay, so you've identified your values. That's the what. Now, we need to turn them into a practical toolkit for making decisions in the real world. This is where your philosophy really comes to life.
And this brings us to a really crucial distinction: the difference between a value and a principle. See, a value is an abstract belief, something like growth. But a principle is how you actually put that value into action. It's the rule you live by. So the value growth becomes the principle: view challenges as learning opportunities. Principles are what bridge that gap between knowing your values and actually living them.
And to make this even more concrete, you can use a simple tool, the value framework. When you're facing a tough choice, first verify what the real question is. Get to the absolute core of the decision. Then align your options with your core values. Which choice honors them the most? Next, list the potential outcomes for each option and understand the trade-offs involved. Finally, once you've gone through that process, execute your choice with conviction, knowing it's rooted in who you are.
You know, this quote from Steve Jobs just nails it.
Building and using your own philosophy is the ultimate act of living your own life, not just some imitation of someone else's. It's about making your limited time here on Earth really truly count.
So, you've done the work, you've built your framework, but here's the final and maybe most crucial piece of the puzzle. This isn't a one-and-done project. You have to think of your philosophy as a living document.
Your philosophy isn't meant to be rigid or set in stone. As you have new experiences and learn more about yourself and the world, it's totally natural for it to evolve. And that's not inconsistency, that is growth. The goal here is progress, not perfection.
So how do you keep that compass calibrated and pointing true north? Well, here are a few simple practices. Review your values regularly, maybe once a month. Keep a journal to track your decisions and see how they line up. Set goals that are actually rooted in your philosophy. And hey, when you slip up, because you will, we all do, don't beat yourself up. Just learn from it and recommit.
So let's end with this. Your personal philosophy isn't just some grand idea for the future. It's a tool for right now, today. So, what's one small choice you can make today, right now, that is in perfect alignment with the person you truly want to be? That's where you start.